4 tall towers proposed but unbuilt. We visualise them and admire the views. Would they have been success stories or white elephants? Did UNESCO World Heritage status lead to status cancelled for some projects? Can a New Brighton Tower ever live up to the old one? The Liverpool City region reimagined in alternative scenarios. Southport, the genteel and stylish seaside resort on the ancient Lancashire coast to the north of Liverpool, since 1974 part of the Merseyside region and today the wider Liverpool City region. Lord Street is a celebration of Victorian and Edwardian architectural styles, a wide, long, gracious boulevard lined with hotels, shops and boutiques. There are glass canopies of the type that seem to have disappeared in most other towns. It's said that Lord Street influenced the design of the boulevards of Paris. The magnificent neoclassical war memorial captures a sense of the past. The restored Wayfarers Arcade, Grade 2 listed, seems unchanged since Victorian times. So what does Southport need most of all? Could it be a 548-foot skyscraper? So this is the site of the proposed Tower of Hope here on Lord Street. It would be built behind this magnificent facade and reach 178 metres up into the sky above Southport. It was an idea of local businessman Andrew Mikhail, who suffered badly in intensive care with COVID. But he recovered. His Tower of Hope would be built as a symbol for the NHS workers who helped him and the country pull through. The design is by locally based architects Clayton Architecture. With its sloping planes, stepped outline and ornamental details, it recalls Art Deco architecture. Not a futuristic glass tower, rather a more nostalgic type of tower, referencing the early golden era of stone-clad tall buildings in North America. It was to be part of the redevelopment of the Grade 2 listed Grand Casino on Lord Street. It would contain apartments, a hotel, a wedding venue, a gym and a spa, retaining the Grand Casino's heritage assets. The tower was proposed in early 2022 and the response, as seen in the comments of local media pages, was, let's say, somewhat less than enthusiastic. Since then, nothing much has been heard about the Tower of Hope. Southport is a very special place with its magnificent waterfront, landscape of lakes and gardens, and the long, narrow pier reaching out towards the sea that I went on as a child. Here's my approximate visualisation of how the Tower of Hope might look against the Southport skyline. Is it really a blot on the landscape? Now we hop on the train from Southport station and head south towards Liverpool. Across the River Mersey, we can see New Brighton, site of our 4th unbuilt tower. How's that going to look? See my visualisation later. And on to the second project, not in the busy city centre, but way down to the south. We got off at St Michael's Station in the attractive St Michael's Hamlet, and then down a path across a main road and we reach a Japanese garden with a pavilion, woodland, pools, pathways. But where is the planned location of the next project? Let's walk on down to the waterfront, then up along the promenade, and here it is, the unlikely place they planned to build our second tower. Next to the River Mersey, some way south of the city centre. It's on the northern end of the Garden Festival site. It would have been 1,000 feet tall, 305 metres, but it was never built. This was one of a number of proposals to revitalise the abandoned Garden Festival site. The tall tower was an idea by local developer Wiggins Group. At 305 metres, or 1,000 feet, it was planned to be not just the tallest building in the UK outside London, but the tallest building in Europe. It would house a 2,500 bedroom hotel, a theme park, a giant waterfall, a tropical jungle, an opera house in the sky, penthouse apartments, retail outlets, and lots more. Construction on the so-called Scousescraper was planned to begin after 2000. And this is the view of it from above Port Sunlight River Park across the Mersey. Reactions were mixed. Some liked it, but many didn't. There were questions regarding the funding of the project, and according to a local survey, 98.9% of local residents were against it. The mammoth proposal never got off the ground, and the site remains empty today. Can we imagine what this area would look like if it had been built? Would it have been a massive success, or maybe a massive white elephant, like the empty 1,080-foot, 330-metre high Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, North Korea? Who knows? we pass the Herculaneum Quay residential building, which I've featured previously, and I noticed something. Is it occupied? Seems like it isn't. This building is a case study in the pitfalls of building development. Planned and begun in the 2000s, it stalled and was just a steel framework for many years. After further delays, construction restarted and it's nearly been completed, but there's still some work to do. I understand the investors took over the building after developers went bust. Work still needs to be done. Let's hope it's completed soon. Our next project would have been on this area here, next to Brunswick Dock. On a slip of land between the lock gates and the dock, this tall building, designed by Ian Simpson Architects, now Simpson Huff, was planned. It would have reached 50 stories. Its triangular shape and rounded bow recalling the Urbis Centre in Manchester by the same architect, only several times taller. But like all these tall building proposals, it was controversial and met with a mixed reception in the city. Liverpool's then UNESCO World Heritage status was invoked. To cut a long story short, it was rejected. The architect wasn't happy. He pointed to a difference in attitudes between Liverpool and Manchester regarding tall buildings. Since then, Simpson Huff have, to my knowledge, not completed any more projects in Liverpool. Today the site of the tower is still empty, just an overgrown car park with run-down fencing around it. Plenty of residential development has been completed around the site, but this pivotal point on the Liverpool waterfront lies abandoned and overgrown. There is a proposal for a residential development without a tower. I'll report on that in another video. At this point, the light was starting to fade. I had intended to go over to New Brighton on the train, where the third unbuilt tower was planned, but I had spent too long in Southport, so I didn't make it to New Brighton. Instead, I'm going to use material I shot in New Brighton in past years and never used. Following the motto, waste not, want not, let's dig out those video clips and photos, along with an introduction I recorded at the time. Hello and willkommen, welcome to Aid Eyewitness. I've come here to New Brighton, near Liverpool, to ask... I've come here to the attractive seaside resort of New Brighton to ask a burning question. Can murals save a town? Well, it's 2 years since I recorded that intro. My Aid Eyewitness cap looked new. As for the question, can murals save a town? In the case of New Brighton, the answer is yes. But the question now is, does New Brighton need a tower? New Brighton has seen a renaissance over the past number of years. Those murals are symbolic. A lot of people go to see the mural commemorating the Beatles. Local band The Mysterines are also celebrated with their charismatic lead singer Leah Metcalf. The old tower can be seen in the attractive murals on Victoria Street. It was built in 1899 and stood 567 feet or 173 metres high. Taller than Blackpool Tower, it was the tallest building in the UK when it opened. It stood on the roof of the Tower Ballroom. Sadly, during World War I, the tower was closed and fell into disrepair. The owners couldn't afford the renovation and it was taken down. The metal sold for scrap. Reminds me of what happened to the Dockers umbrella 40 years later. And during the golden years, people flocked to the resort, which, even without the tower, had a special magic about it, with its Lido Pier fun fair and a direct ferry link to Liverpool. Sadly, the Tower Ballroom caught fire in 1969 and was demolished. Recently, New Brighton has been revitalised. Victoria Road is full of thriving bars, restaurants and a unique record shop. Other towns have followed with murals of their own. The proposal for a new tower was put forward in 2017, part of a big investment programme developed by Wirral Council. This would be a more contemporary style, plain, slim kind of tower with a rectangular platform at the top. It would stand on Tower Gardens where the old Tower Ballroom once stood. It has something in common with the I-360 tower in the other Brighton down south. But today the site is empty. Will it ever be brought to completion? Good question. If anyone has any information, please post in the comments. And this is how it might have looked from the train from Southport, just south of Sandhill Station. I always find it interesting to think about an alternative scenario where these and other projects would have been built. Let's not forget, many of Liverpool's most famous landmarks started out as someone's crazy idea. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Oh, hold on a minute. There's one more tower, I forgot. I stumbled on it at the last minute. It's the Shanghai Tower, planned by Peel Holdings around 2010. It was to be built on a site by William Jessup Way, 55 stories, over 200 metres or 656 feet. It was intended to attract Chinese investors. English Heritage objected, referring again to UNESCO. Long story short, the status of the Shanghai Tower, as listed on the Scousescrapercentre.com website, is cancelled. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to reading your comments. I think I receive the best comments of any channel, and for that I'm grateful. And if you'd like to support me, please donate to buy me a coffee. Channel membership is a little bit delayed in the planning stage at the moment, but I hope to have it ready soon. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in der Liverpool City Region.